Hello and welcome, my digital leads. Well, now Digimon Adventure 2020 is over. Thankfully. Let us start with the good things. Okay, now on to the bad things. Just kidding. It did have some good stuff. Barely. I really liked the opening. That was a really good one. I did enjoy that and was looking forward to it after hearing it. Nothing against Butterfly, but this one is just better. I'm just being honest here. I really like it. But, well, the reason not having it in my playlist is just because it reminds me of something bad. And that's just sad. Because this season did have a lot of potential. Going in, I really did want to enjoy this. However, I wasn't that much of a fan of the first few episodes. They did Omegamon way too soon. There needs to be some establishment for a Digivolution like this, right? But after the initial episodes, when they were going to the real digital world, yeah, that seemed kind of good. I really did like that at first. I even liked it more than the original. Honestly, it was pretty good in the beginning. One thing I did not really like was Yamato and Taichi not being friends from the get-go. I think that the heroes already know each other was a good thing the original did, because there was just more time for them to grow as characters instead of growing the bonds of, well, 7 and later 8 characters, which are kind of a lot for a main cast. Of course, not everyone had to know each other from the get-go. That's not what I'm talking about, but at least Taichi and Yamato, if they want them to form Omegamon that quickly, there needs to be a bond between those two, but they barely knew each other. They didn't even really talk all that much. But then they still managed to get the Jogress evolution to Omegamon, which just does not make sense. That's not how Jogress works. Jogress is the bond between two Digimon, or rather, in this case, between two Tamers, and their Digimon, of course, that leads them to combine into one. But, well, they didn't have those bonds, but still managed to get that, and it's just unbelievable. And then suddenly, Metal Greymon came in. Very soon. Yeah, I did not like it all that much that they got their Ultras that quickly. It was really early. But that wasn't enough to make the show bad, of course. I mean, they could do a lot of that. Also, they got some different forms and also some different evolutions later on. Kinda. They rarely use those, but I think that would have been awesome. Give us the Ultras pretty soon, but let them have different Ultras. Let them digivolve into different Digimon to mix it up a bit, so then we can have Ultra pretty soon, make the fights even more badass, without the need of doing Mega also that soon, because you can always go to not Metal Greymon, but like Metal Tyrannomon or something like that. Greymon can do this. But soon after we got Metal Greymon, the show has gone down. About halfway through, I noticed that there are not that many episodes for each character. Seriously, Sora and not even Yamato really get that much episodes for themselves. It's all about Taichi. And if you want to make a show all about Taichi, adapt this one. This manga is really good. And Taichi is the only main character. At first, there are some other humans later on, but he is the most important and centric character, and like I said, read this manga. It's really good. It's a really good Digimon manga. And so after getting to the Megas, which at first only Yamato and Taichi get, one thing I did not like about the original, we had some episode that would have been perfect. Really perfect for the other characters to get their Megas as well. It was their time. But they did not get their Megas. They didn't. Why? I tell you why. They rather tack those on right at the end after saying, hey, there's some new enemy, without telling us anything about the enemy for several episodes, and then they get their megas just then, pretty late into the game, which is not good. They should have gotten them way sooner, so that we could have seen more action of those megas, especially since we didn't see these megas in the original show. They need some more highlights here. Well, Roseamon, of course, got a lot of highlight in Savers, but not Mimi's Roseamon. So yeah, that's a difference. So the remake kind of fixes my complaint with the original show, but in such a bad way that I can't say thank God they did. It's more like I'd rather they did not and just established the enemy they talked about more. Also, like I said, not even Yamato gets a lot of screen time here. He gets his mega earlier than the others, sure, but he still gets one episode tacked on at the end. But he is needed for Omegamon. But it felt like Taichi was doing Omegamon and Yamato just being there as a proxy to do it, because you need some lump of flesh on the side, because you need two instead of one. And that's awful. Really, really awful. This was also shown pretty awfully at the time where they fought their initial enemy, Millenniumon. Taichi just pushed the others away. He did not want them to fight with him. No, instead he goes onto a battle that he basically dies in. Of course he's not really dying there, but yeah, if the others have fought with you, nothing would be a problem here. It would be an easy fight even. The enemy just seemed weak because of that. I mean, imagine, you have that one guy fighting the enemy and managing to defeat him, but, well, needs to sacrifice himself. But there are 7 extra guys that could have been in the fight as well. So if 8 of them would have fought the enemy, yeah, there wasn't any threat there. Millenniumon seemed really weak because just Taichi could defeat him, even though at a cost. But well, there isn't only Taichi in this battle, right? So if Taichi alone managed to defeat Millenniumon, all 8 of them fighting it would be an easy victory here. It would be so easy for them to win. That not only makes the show kind of bad because it basically shoves the other characters away, which, yeah, you know, even Joe, some of the fans of Digimon like these characters. They want to see their favorite character in battle. And of course, you can't have every character in every episode having a big battle. Sure. But imagine, I mean, Taichi always was my favorite character. In this show, not so much, because he just... No, it's unfair. It's not his fault. It's the fault of the creators. They did Taichi bad here. But I also really liked Sora. But Sora did not get any action. So imagine if Sora, or maybe even Koshiro, or Joe, or Mimi, or whoever, is your favorite character. Yeah, you just don't see them battle in the most important fight up until that point. That sucks! Of course you want to see them battle like that. They did so in the original show, with Apocalypse at the end. Everyone got to battle that. And they didn't have megas as well, so there's no excuse for this show doing it like this. Also, Taichi doesn't want them to get hurt, so he fights alone because of that. But think about it. Wouldn't they be hurt pretty bad if he dies? Especially his sister? I mean, it's awful. He pushed his friends away, ignoring their feelings. That's not really a good thing to do. It sounds good on paper, maybe. But it's really not good. They wanted to be with you, Taichi. They wanted to fight alongside you, and you just ignored their feelings. And you just pushed them away so that you can have your own showtime here. That's not good. That is not good for a character. That is not good for a person to do. And especially it's not good for story writing in this case. If you have a show around a team of people, Let them fight as a team. This is not Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball always was single fights. 1 against 1. They barely did team fights. And that is okay. That works for Dragon Quest. That works for Dragon Ball. But Dragon Ball is not about team fights. It's about martial arts. Digimon, however, is about people meeting their digital partners and forming bonds. It's about the bonds of these people. So you should let them be together to have these bonds. Also, before we even reach this battle against Millenniumon, we get another time having Yamato and Taichi forming Omegamon. So why don't just use Omegamon in this fight? At this point you kinda have to get the gist of how to do it, right? And even if not, there's a chance that would have happened if Yamato was in the fight as well. So why not use that chance? As I said, even one more person would help in this fight and wouldn't have led to Taichi presumably dying. It would have been better in all ways and shapes and forms, and yeah, they just messed this up, really. Oh, and surprise! Of course, in the final battle against the real enemy, Negamon, Omegamon has all the showtime. Yeah, to be honest, seeing Omegamon there would have been kind of cool and awesome. If we hadn't had it already 2 times. It was just, yeah, of course they will do Omegamon and Omegamon will save the day. Just like that. You expected Omegamon at this point, so yeah, no surprise and no action there. It was just unfulfilling. So, on top of there just being a few episodes centering around the other characters, they aren't even doing anything in the big major battles, so they are even less important than they already are. Yay! Also, what's up with Hikari? She's always acting like she's dead inside. I know there's a theory about her being autistic, but I don't buy it. It would have been a nice and interesting explanation, but yeah. First off, the obvious. Toei just wouldn't do that. I mean, it's a kids show in their eyes, and well, it technically is a kids show. That can also be enjoyed by adults, of course, but they wouldn't touch topics like that. Let's just be honest here. And second, well, this might be a bit controversial. The chosen ones should be mentally fit, right? I know autism doesn't mean that you're not mentally fit. It can, in certain aspects, be even helpful to you. But I think being socially awkward and stuff like that for a chosen one, yeah, that's not really logical in any way, shape or form, right? And so, the way she acts is not like she has knowledge in a specific type of thing. She just stands there and that is not helpful. She barely talks, she barely interacts with the others. You don't know what's with her. Also, if she would be autistic, she wouldn't act normal in some occasions, right? And we do have some occasions where she just acts normally. That's not how that works. On the other hand, we don't really know who chose them, or what the criteria really are, so there might be something. And as I said, she often acts pretty normal. Well, character consistency not found. And then we have the animation quality. Some episodes look really, really good. Many do not. We see so many static images, especially with Birdramon or Garudamon. When they fly, they don't use their wings, they just... And that's strange looking, that's stupid. Animate their wings at least, give them just a little bit of flaps. Doesn't have to look realistic totally, but at least give us 2 or 3 frames of flapping animation, gosh darn it. You could argue that they are kind of magically flying like Angemon or Angewomon do. But no, I don't think that's how Birdramon works. I think they do flap their wings. All other media shows them flapping their wings. The other anime seasons shows that bird-like Digimon do that. The games do that. Even the manga kind of do that. In, well, the way manga can show this. But well, the manga having static images is a pretty good excuse because it's a drawn work. And anime, which is short for animation, should be animated. What is this? Way of the House Husband? Also Netflix, that was not okay. Do better. I'm looking forward to season 2, but honestly, this is the last chance for that. Also back on the topic of the flying stuff, it looked good in the original show and that is way older. You have no excuse here with the new technologies you could use. But you just want a quick cash, right? Selling those cards. Yeah, guess what? Selling those cards would be even more monetizable if the show was good. Also, if you would release those cards in Europe would be also pretty helpful. I'm waiting. Back to the last stretch. All that stuff about the new anime. Suddenly, they have to find their crests. Remember those? Back then, they were used to get them to the Ultras. This time, they are used to... yeah, what exactly? They just exist and suddenly they need those because... plot point? They really do not have any function at all in this. They're just there to be there. So they all go quickly get those megas on the side as well while searching for those crests. All talking about the new enemy, the enemy that is even worse than the enemy before, without any info about who that enemy actually is. You know, they kind of did that in the original too with Apocalypse. After defeating Piemon, Apocalypse just appeared. They were sucked into the dark dimension or whatever that was, and their Apocalypse was the accumulation of everything bad that happened before. But that's okay in the original, because that's kind of like the last boss in an RPG summoning the evil god with his last breath, or having a sudden new form. Apocalypse didn't need any establishment because he wasn't mentioned all the time before. It was a surprise. It was like, imagine you stand there, whew, I defeated the last enemy. Wait, what? What is that? Not like, wait, what is that? Let's go on a tangent here and collect some stuff and wait until that happens. You would try to find out more about that, right? But they don't do. There's one episode that seems to do this, a Taichi-centered episode as well. But it didn't really tell us much. Also, Taichi always was where the others were. Why? Taichi didn't need to be there when they got their crests. Just leave him out. Especially in the Yamato episode, it was like, hi Yamato, I'm here. Oh cool, you helping me? Nope, I'm out. And then he was gone. He did help in one battle and then basically just was gone. Leave him out. It's okay for Taichi to be not in one of the episodes. At least, if they get their megas in these episodes, center them around those characters without Taichi interacting with them at all. The timeline even doesn't make sense. How can Taichi be everywhere? How can that be? He was with Sora, and then he flew off, and was with someone else. He was with everyone. In the time frame that should be around the same time for everyone. It's like he was cloned. Well, he was in that one episode, but those were not Taichi clones. Those were the real Taichi. And that just messed up the timeline of events here. How long did they how much time did they use to get their crests? That shouldn't have been too long like that. Just doesn't make sense. Also, they kind of wanted to show that Taichi's crest, bravery, has to do something with interacting with all his friends. But wouldn't that be Yamato's thing? It wouldn't make sense if Yamato needs to go to every one of his friends for his crest of friendship. Bravery just needs you to be brave. Well, not just. Being brave is not that easy, of course. But it has nothing really to do with being with your friends. The crest of friendship, however, that would have to do something with that. Obviously. But no, can't have Yamato get some spotlight, right? He's just the lump of flesh needed for Omegamon. And then, the finale. The last episode. It had one good scene. One. That was where Omegamon got those different arms. That was a really cool scene and was really unexpected. Good on you. The rest was trash, however. The others did nothing as expected at this point, and the battle was slow-paced and boring, except for that one scene. You can't do that in a show like this. It has to be exciting and a nice, fast-paced battle. Sure, slowly paced battles have their place. Look at the original Digimon movie. They sped that up in the American version, and I hate that because the slow, somber music at that battle against Diaboromon, and that just worked. But here, it wasn't like that. They could have made it slow-paced, of course, but it wasn't slow-paced on purpose, it was just badly done. Also, they kind of wanted to trick us into showing the others have something to do by slowing the enemy down from the outside, but it didn't really do anything. They told us but not showed us. Always show, don't tell. That's the #1 rule in media. Also, Taichi stays in the digital world because. And the others take their Digimon to the real world. Because. But it seems the gate is closed, so yeah. How does that work? When did they get to choose where they wanted to stay? But there's something interesting here. Mimi and Koshiro working on a digital gate, huh? Maybe that ties into Ghost Game? I'm looking forward to Ghost Game. I hope it's better. But we'll see. It really saddens me that this series has gone down the drain as much as it has. It had potential. It had a lot of potential. But they don't use it, sadly. But, well, let's just hope Ghost Game is good. So with that, what are your thoughts on the show? Tell me in the comments below, down there. Also, follow me on Twitter to keep updated whenever I upload a new video or stream on Twitch. Links are in the description below. As well as my links. With that, fire your magical fire on like and baby flame on subscribe and the little bell. Until next time, see you, bye bye.